What's up, guys and gals? Your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the next piece of One Piece. That's right, we are into chapter 1051. Now, I've seen some people excited about this chapter for a multitude of reasons, and I've seen some people sort of about this chapter for a multitude of reasons. My personal takeaway from this chapter, well, that's why you're here, this is why you're watching, let's just get right into it, is I like the chapter. I really do. I like the chapter for a number of reasons. Number one, I've been a big fan of Yamato joining the crew. Like, not just sailing off on her own and being like, Ace, would have wanted me to do this or any of that stuff. No. She wants to sail, but she wants to specifically sail with Luffy. This is one of the first times, I do recall Robin, but this is one of the first times that we've had someone actually want to join the crew that Luffy didn't run up and be like, you are joining my crew. This happened to Zoro, it happened to Nami, it happened to Usopp in a sort of an odd way, Frankie, Brook, it happened, and Jinbei. Jinbei was also invited in that way. So a lot of the characters, the members of the Straw Hat crew have been Chopper the same way. You can't forget Chopper. We can't forget Chopper. They've all been asked to join. Other than Robin, who just inserted herself on the crew pretty much, and then she became a true crew member later on. And now Yamato. The cool thing here is, since I've been a big stan of Yamato joining the crew, and as I've always said, sorry Monster Trio fans, I'm a big fan of the ringtone of my phone is still Sanji, Zoro and Luffy, the Monster Trio, by the collab by Rustage, Swabity, and Connor Quest doing that rap. That was awesome. But the fact of the matter is Yamato, in all seriousness, is more impressive. So if you want to argue me Jinbei versus Sanji all day, that's fine. I think that's a high diff fight either way. Yamato's got that drip. She got that Conqueror's Hockey. She's got that Mythical Zone Devil Fruit and stuff. I'm sorry, Sanji's Germatech does not hold up to not only Conqueror's Hockey clash level with Kaido, plus a Mythical Zone. I'm sorry. Yamato is now officially, if she joins, because this is going to be an odd thing. This is going to be very odd, because of what I liked about this chapter in that regard is the fact that everyone's sort of like, yeah, okay, like, Nami's like, wait, what? And so it's like Frankie and Brook is like, so wait a minute, you're Kaido's son and stuff. It's like, I'm going to join your crew. I'll be sailing with you from now on. And then we get like Usopp and Nami, the classic reaction stuff. And Frankie's like, wait, what? Now, of course, Brook and Sanji approve right away. Very in character for the two of them. And this is a nice scene. Robin's just like her classic stuff. See, this is all very familiar character reactions, and I love it. We always have Nami, like if Chopper was there, Chopper would be doing the same thing as Nami and Usopp. Frankie's just like, wait, what? Like thinking of it, like, wait, who made this decision? Brook and Sanji just, and Robin acting the way they always do. And then what I like is Jinbei. Jinbei's statement is, when basically what he says, I need confirmation from the captain, but what he's basically saying is, if Luffy wakes up and he says, hey, yeah, Yamato can join the crew, then Jinbei will be like, all right. Because Jinbei has believed in Luffy pre-time skip. Jinbei is one of the most loyal people to Luffy on his entire crew. I'm not trying to do a loyalty test on who's more loyal to Luffy, but Jinbei goes along with all of Luffy's choices because Jinbei was the one to pull him out of his darkest moment in the series. This is a fact. And he has seen him at his worst, and he's seen him at his best. So Jinbei knows to trust Luffy's judgment when it's, and when to, like Zoro, knows when to sort of push the argument against Luffy. I feel like Jinbei knows how to do that. So, in this regard, I really like that all the character reactions are very within character about Yamato joining the crew. And the fact that she's pronouncing it here, this is all but confirmed. It would be very red herring or very topsy-turvy of Oda to basically go, Luffy going, no, you can't join my crew. And I hope he doesn't do that because the only way I can see Luffy saying, no, you can't join my crew would be if he says, no, you can't join my crew because you need to go set out on your own adventure. You don't want to follow me. You want to do your own thing, sort of idea. And the problem I have with that is that this whole time, the fan base, me personally, and Yamato has had this entire intention of sailing with the Straw Hats. We've all been excited for the next member to join after the longest running arc in the entire series after 20 years. And it would be very disappointing for Oda to sort of sweep the rug out from under us. So I will take this as confirmation, 99%. That Yamato is going to join the crew. Now, there's one thing that people don't like about Yamato's character in this regard, is still saying that she's going by Kazuki Oden, and you can call me Yamato, but you can call me Yamato. Because we're all going to refer to her, of course, as Yamato. The thing is, most people have brought up to defend this. I personally don't like it. I think now that Wano is freed, she can drop it. I think part of it was a coping mechanism, but the other part of it was to be Oden's the one who was a match for Kaido. Oden's the one who can free Wano, blah, blah, blah. I felt like that was part of it, and now that Wano's free, I was sort of hoping for her to drop it. So I'm not a huge fan of it at this point, but I don't dislike it, as it's been pointed out in a few different places. This could be good character development. Assuming she does join the crew, which is all but confirmed in this chapter, assuming that she does join the crew, what we're going to have here is character development, which is sort of rare, in all honesty, in One Piece. One Piece is about the story, the adventure, and the world building. It's not very heavily based in characters changing, characters growing into a certain stance. Everyone gets their time to shine, so to speak, and then that's it. And they stay the way they are, mostly for the rest of the series. For example, Nami changes during Arlong Park, or at the very least, her inner self comes out and she finally breaks down. But has she changed since Arlong Park? Nami has consistently stayed Nami, the character that we know, almost this entire time. You know, for an example, just using one, not picking on Nami, but this would be a rare opportunity for someone who's, you know, had a bad childhood. People pointed out Sanji would be a perfect character, not just for the, you know, oh, now we have Robin, now we have this, now we have that in the flirtation side, but the fact that Sanji comes from a shit family that treated him horribly. With his childhood, Yamato might be able to relate to Sanji in this way, and maybe Sanji can help pull Yamato out of this wall of being Kazuki Oden that she uses to protect herself. You know, there's that possibility. Actually, there's quite a few Straw Hats who could help her with this whole identity thing she's going through. Because I believe that it's a bit of a defensive mechanism, a bit of a coping mechanism she had to do with dealing with her, you know, dealing with her shit childhood and her shit father, you know what I mean? So there definitely is that. But yeah, that's a great, I just wanted to get that part out of the way because that was absolutely fantastic. Another part is, of course, we get the scabbards, though we don't see Izo or Ashura Doji, which is a good sign, in all honesty. Izo is probably my favorite of the scabbards, so I would hate for him to die, but we needed a few more deaths. We really did need honest dead people in this war. So if like Ashura Doji, really better be dead. And then of course Izo would be a very heavy blow. You know, Kiku losing an arm is a big thing, I suppose, and stuff like that. Like Kiku and Kinemon probably should have died, but anyways, we get the scabbards and stuff. They appear, of course. It's, you know, broadcast all through Wano, and there's this huge speech, of course. There's an entirely huge speech. It's absolutely awesome. There was a weird moment about Tama saying that speed is her... Like, we get confirmation. This is a good part of key information. We get about Tama's fruit. It only lasts a month. It goes through the cycle of the moon. It's like, okay, so that shit only lasts roughly a month, 28 days sometimes, whatever. But it only lasts a month. So she can't control people indefinite. So taking away a little bit of the brokenness of Tama's jutsu or devil fruit, able to take away that little dongo ability. So that's definitely a good thing in a regard. But Tama explains the details regarding that and stuff, and Speed says like she probably just wants to stay with Tama in the end and stuff, because Tama explains like after a month of being with her and stuff and being her friend, some of them just go back to the way they were, but other ones, if they've had a good time or whatever, say, you know what, I kind of like chilling out with you instead, and you know, you weren't treating me bad and blah blah blah. So hey, yeah, you know. So the weird thing I find is that the whole I'd rather think of Speed as a mother, and Nami's shocked by this and stuff, and I'm sort of like, where did we get the indication that Speed was like Tama's mother? Like, that sort of came out of left field for me. That sort of came out of nowhere for me. It'd be okay if we had a few more scenes with them, I guess. Not that I wanted Wano to go on any longer. I think it's finally time. And this is one good takeaway. People that don't really care for the chapter, people that weren't moved by the chapter, it's like, I haven't seen anybody saying, I need 2 more years of Wano, so maybe stop your bitching, because this chapter is signifying pretty much the end of the Wano arc. We're going to be moving into post-Wano in the next couple of chapters, and post-arcs are usually the most hypest of all the arcs, so what do you complain about? You know, like, realistically in that regard. So we finally get the reveal of Momonosuke as an adult, as a 28-year-old, I believe, because I believe he was 8 years old at the time, so now he's 28. I believe that's the case. I'm not 100%. But pretty much we have the scavenge, we have the big speech and stuff. He looks like a badass and stuff. One thing that sort of bothered me a little bit, I guess, but we'll get into that. But either way, he has I think a very good speech, saying, you know, he starts off really well, but I like the fact that he's still Momonosuke at this time. He's like, 20 long years since Kazuki Oden died. You've all done well to have survived and protected, you know, Wano as best you could. The freedoms of the Fire Festival shall not end tonight, nor any night since. You may drink as much as you want. You will have clean water. We will destroy the factories. Everything from this day forward, no slavery in Wano anymore. Said, you know, we will be back. And we get a flashback of Tama at this point. We see that her parents died. They were, of course, working in the camps and everything like that. She tried to sell hats, everything like that. We see how she meets the Tengu and stuff like that, who tells her to believe in the day that the Kazuki clan will come and save this land once again. And she believed in that dream. She believed in it. And then once again, this is where this moment makes a little more sense with Tama and Nami. She doesn't jump to Speed. She jumps into Nami, weeping and crying because she remembers what Luffy said. This will be a place where you can eat as much as you want every single day. And now it's finally happening. She hears Momo's voice. She knows it's Momo, and the whole country is hearing this speech. And it's just like, I think this is kind of moving myself. Like, yes, we've been in Wano a long time. Yes, we already have this information, but it still doesn't make it, to my mind, any less impactful. And the anime is going to do this absolute justice. Of course, scenes like these, emotional scenes, do so much better with voice acting and soundtracks. The manga, I think, handles it just fine, but you can only, if you do it verbatim from the manga, it only enhances a scene, right? There are so many scenes in the anime from One Piece that were very sad in the manga, and I think score and voice acting and stuff only enhance those very, very emotional scenes. The Arlong Park scene, the I Want to Live scene, the Going Merry scene. These scenes were enhanced with sound. So, in this regard, this scene is also, I think, going to be really, really powerful, because the anime has been just hitting fire. So, of course, we have Luffy with a big smile on his face and stuff, saying, I met powerful and passionate friends among my voyage. Kaido and Orochi, they're gone for good. Together, our ninja pirate mink samurai alliance raided Onigashima. Kaido of the Beast, Orochi, and the entirety of the Beast Pirates, they have, the ones that have kept you living in fear, have all now been vanquished. And everyone's just like, wait, what? And he raises his sword in the air and stuff. And, like, I think this is a fantastic speech and stuff. Like, they weren't just going to be like, yeah, okay, everyone, we raided Onigashima, this is Momonosuke, okay, moving on. You know, like, we needed a whole chapter. There needed to be a speech to the people of Wano to let them know that their slavery is over. The tyranny is gone. Officially 100%. It was going to be a big moment. It was going to be a whole chapter and stuff. So, once again, I really like this chapter for that regard. So everyone's just like crying, laughing, wondering if it's true. Like, we see Carrot, we see Law, we see Kid, we see Beppo, we see so many people. We see Toko, we see everyone and stuff. And then this is the part that I really enjoy. It's a very moving speech. It's very fantastic so far, right? It's done very well. But then he, Kinemon and the rest of the scabbards. And people don't like Kinemon. I don't like the fact that Kinemon survived. I think Kinemon dead would have been extremely impactful. But that doesn't mean that this moment, his surrogate father, Kinemon, the one who's been taking care of him, this is a fantastic moment for both Kinemon and Momonosuke. This shows that, like, very realistic. Momo is still the 8-year-old and stuff like that, remember? So he's going back and he's just like, and they're all like, it's a very serious moment. He's like, Psst, Kinemon, I don't really know what to say next. Give me a hand. And then he just says, fake it till you make it. Come on, kid, you can do it, sort of idea. And it's just like, that's just a great moment. The people of Wano don't see this, but it's a good moment for us, the readers. It's a good moment for Momonosuke, Kinemon. I like that. That little 2-panel scene is very important to showcase to us. It's still Momo and stuff like that. Like, he didn't just come out of nowhere, now I'm basically Odin, like, just because he aged, because it was a jump. It was a 20-year jump in the middle of a war. So one of the best lines, of course, still uttered again was, what are you, Momo? Are you just a figurehead? And then once again saying, you are just turned into a dragon. You just bit Kaido of the Beast. You just bit the strongest pirate in the world. Does anything in this world seem scary to you now that you've clashed with Kaido of the Beasts? And I'm just like, he's got, it's like, he's got a damn point. So one of the best lines in Wano, in my opinion. And then he plucks up the courage. He said, my name means, given to my father, means second to none. I swear to live up to it by restoring this country. But all of you, the people of Wano, must lend me your strength. I have transcended the last 20 years, bringing, and everyone's like, the prophecy is true. And we see the big double spread. He does resemble Odin in a lot, though. His hair is just flowing, majestic. He looks badass. I love the design and stuff. He said, Wano will now be led by Kazuke Momonosuke. And it's just like, all right, this is some good fire. This is some good shit. Rereading the chapter, this is my third time sort of, I'm just skimming the chapter as I always do, guys, so I don't miss any points I want to talk about. But as I'm skimming the chapter and telling you guys this and, reading it and stuff, it's like, yeah, you know what? On my first read, I was like, all right, cool, we got the reveal and stuff. Not a bad chapter. Getting to the end of Wano, this is pretty good. I was like, all right. Second read, I was like, paying more attention. I was like, yeah, you know what? This is a pretty good chapter. And now, reading it again, I'm like, it goes up the more you read it, I feel. Because it's signifying, if you really pay attention. I know a lot of people, the reason people don't like this is because people are sick of the scabbards. A lot of people are just done with Wano. They're sick of Wano. They don't care about Momo. They don't care about the people of Wano. They don't care about the storyline of Wano anymore. That's why this chapter doesn't hit for a lot of people. It's because they just don't care. They don't care about Momonosuke as a character, the scabbards, the journey. They don't care about any of that anymore. So, because some people are tired. Understandably, it was a very long arc and it had a lot of fat on it. But we're at the tail end. There's no point in complaining about trimming that fat anymore because we're at the end. Enjoy it. Remember that this is still a very good story. The story of Wano is still a very good story. And just like Whole Cake Island before it, I feel like when people go back on a reread, people will judge it less harshly. Just like every other arc, people always do in One Piece. So we get everybody crying, mother, father, I kept my promise. I will continue along the path you started, all this great stuff. And as I said, he looks amazing. So everyone's just cheering, the flower capitals in an uproar and stuff. And then we get the narrator and stuff, right? So apparently no break next week. So that's pretty awesome. I didn't see any mention of a break next week, so that's pretty cool. So there's a very nice poem and stuff at the end. We see Hiyori and Momonosuke reunited and stuff, and it looks so great. As in, like, he's like, oh yes, I'm old, I'm the older brother once again, sort of idea. You know, it's kind of cool. So what they say is, and this is the part that bothers me, is that they say that he may lack physical strength, but he compensates that with his devotion to duty and boundless compassion. And I'm sitting there and going, yeah, that's a nice sentiment if he was still 8-year-old Momonosuke. But, like, I'm not sure if they're referring to the fact that he's an 8-year-old at heart or something like that, because he's still in the line of goddamn Odin. He, like, grew so his dragon form alone is the size of Kaido just about. You telling me he's lacking physical... You telling me that this dude, looking like Odin with the big sword and being a badass, you telling me that he's not strong? Like, he's weaker than all the scabbards and stuff? I don't like this mention. I don't know if it's... I'll actually wait this time for the Viz translation to see what they say about it, because I'm curious by the whole "a man 8 years of age" line that precedes it. So, like, it just reads a little... It's just reading off to me. It's sounding like, okay, yeah, he's clearly... He's not even in the top 10 of his own country. He's just a very wise and compassionate leader, and everybody... And the people love him, but he's not... He's no Odin, you know? And I'm not saying he has to be Odin level strength, but you're telling me that he sucks, like, without his dragon form? Like, he's a weakling? I don't really care for that line. I hope I'm just misreading it or misinterpreting or reading too much into it. So that's the one little complaint I had from earlier that I mentioned. But then we get the title card. The young hero stands tall. This man will one day be known far and wide as one of the Wano's greatest leaders. We have just borne witness to the birth of the great Shogun, Kazuki Momonosuke. End chapter. I thought it was a very good chapter, as I said. And this is my third time. I actually appreciate this chapter more while reviewing it for you guys. I definitely, as I said, the first time I was like, it's a chapter. It was pretty good. You know, nothing to go, yeah, about, nothing to go, oh, about, or anything like that. It was just like, okay, we're at the end of Wano. Kaido's defeated. Okay, cool. And this is, of course, we expected this. Like, this chapter, these events in this chapter were absolutely expected to happen. Doesn't make them any less as good, well-drawn, well-paced, well-written, in my opinion. So... And upon a couple of rereads of the chapter, it's grown on me even more. So maybe that's just me. But yeah, so that's the chapter, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the review. Like, comment, subscribe as always. And fourth and most importantly, as you guys already know, drink but responsibly as I always do. And we will see you guys back here next time for the next piece of One Piece. Looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. And I know you guys are too. As I said, did not see a break next week on the title thing. So... Chapter 1052 in only a week. I'm really curious if that's the official end of Wano and post Wano begins next week or the week after. I'm not 100% if the next chapter is going to be the official end. But with the narrator title card, I don't know. That might have been the last chapter of Wano, so pretty exciting for that nonetheless. Even if you guys didn't like this chapter, even if you haven't been a fan of Wano for a long time, you can't really complain about this chapter because this chapter just about, if not this chapter, the next one or something like that, signifies the end of the Wano arc. So, for better or for worse, it's almost over, or is over officially, so gotta like that chapter for something, right? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.